So the first thing I want you to do, you see this next problem is more or less a review. So we want to solve the following equations. You know that what is the meaning of solving an equation? It means to find the unknown which is in that equation. Yes? But before even I explain what to do, I want you to think about this problem yourself, because there is nothing new in this problem. In principle, you should be able to solve both parts yourself. Okay? So I will wait for you. Yes, please.
And do you have an extra?
Paper is here. Pen might be in that box that is usually there. Okay, now I will solve it for you. If you have problems, please let me know. Okay? So what can I do here? So I multiply this in as if I have two problems. On the left side, if I multiply this, it becomes 6x squared. Yes? Am I recording? Yes. And then I have plus 12x. On the right hand side, I will have 6x squared plus 6. Yes? And then I want to isolate my unknown. Of course, this is something that we will learn how to solve, you see, but they cannot give you this type of questions right away so that this x squared survives. But you see, this is not surviving, because if I move these to the left, I have to change it to a negative sign, and then 6 is the only term left on the right, but you see that this and that are cancelled because they are not only similar, but they are opposite. So what is left on the left is 12x. What is left on the right is just 6. And your goal is to isolate your unknown, so you divide everything by 12. But you shouldn't stop here, because you have to either write 0.5 in this case, or I want to prefer, because usually always it is possible to write it as a fraction. In this case, if you write 0.5, that's also completely correct. But that is what we mean. But let me review. If someone asks you what you did, what is the meaning of this number we got? Because this is important to understand what the meaning of things are when you find them, yes?
Value of x.
What is the meaning of this number we found? Yes?
It's the value of x.
So what is the meaning of this? For example, let us say I calculate this and I mistakenly wrote 2. How do I understand 2 is wrong? How do I understand 1/2 is right? Yes?
You can try to replace x with 1/2.
Yes, so you have to go back here. It means that 1/2 is the only number, so that if you replace x with that number, the left-hand side matches with the right-hand side. And that's the only one. It is important to understand the meaning of the solution. By the way, let me review. This is usually called a solution, but because here this is the only solution, it is better to use the article there. And the result, something that might be you are not very familiar with, and that is called a root. Okay, so that is also, I want you to learn this word. So I can say that 1/2 is the only root of this equation, or the only solution of that equation. Okay, but let us just do that one. That one is a little bit lengthier because I have to multiply these two, and you already learned that how to do it yesterday. So I start multiplying 3y in, but I have to be patient. I multiply 3y here, and then I multiply 3y there. So it becomes what? 6y plus 3y squared. But it is not finished. Then I have to multiply -1 here and there, which is -2 and minus y. And the right hand side I will do the same, but this is just one simple term. So it becomes 2y plus 3y squared. And then you have to move the terms including your unknown. The name of the unknown in this case is y. You can simplify and continue, that is up to you. If you don't mind, let me simplify first, because this one and that one can be simplified, which is 5y plus 3y squared. And then I have -2. On the right hand side I have 2y plus 3y squared. Then these four terms include y, my unknown, so I keep them on the left. They are already on the left. I move them to the left. I change the signs as we learned in Math 1C. And then 2 is the only known part, so I move it to the right, but this becomes positive 2. And then you see again, as I predicted, at this part of the course, they cannot ask you to solve an equation in which the second power survives. But that is a very main part of this course that we will learn how to do it if it really survives. But in this case, these two are gone. And then this one and that one is 3y, and then this is 2. So you see, in this case, if you just approximate it, you will lose points. You have to write only 2 over 3. If you write approximately 0,6, that you will lose points, unless it is mentioned to approximate. Again, let us say that. What is the name of this more technical term? A root. Or in this case, it is better to say the root, because there is no other roots. And then if someone asks you what is the meaning of this number, you will tell me that this is the only number, so that if I change y with, if I replace this for the y on the left, it becomes equal if I replace y on the right. But that's the meaning of solving the equation. Yes.
Baba,
Yes.
can there be any equation that have two answers that can go in the same?
Yes, yes. We will study a lot of them. If this survives, usually this is the case that we have to. Usually. Okay. Of course, I will not be able to solve all the problems for you, but let me now go to a level 2 problem, and I want to wait for you, but I don't want to. So it is 1:22. I can wait 4 minutes, okay? So this 4 minutes or 5 minutes. If you don't solve it by 4 minutes, I can wait a little bit more. So I want you to solve this problem yourself. Okay, is the problem clear? According to the information given on the picture, you are supposed to find an expression for the area and for, no, only for the area, yes, and make it as simple as possible. You want to find a formula for the area. Do you need extra time, or you know how to solve it?
No.
Yes, so do you want to tell me how to do it? One idea is to partition this shape into two shapes, as Omar said. What is your proposal? Which way?
So what I did was I drew a line,
Yes.
or I imagined.
Yes, yeah, you can do. You draw this line,
Yes.
and then you have a shape. Either it is a square or it is a rectangle. It depends on the dimensions. We still don't know, but there's also a triangle. So if I call the surface area of this one S2 and this one S1, for S1, tell me what to do. It is very simple, because now you see it is a rectangle. Why? Because this length is x plus 3, but that length is what? X.
Plus 3 times.
So my picture is a little bit stupid, because in my picture they seem quite, I have to draw it a little bit narrower as in the book. But let us imagine that this is the case. So S1 is what?
X plus 3 times x.
X plus 3 times x. But you learn how to do it.
Yes.
I can expand that. How?
X to
X multiplied by x. Of course, we used to multiply from the left, but it doesn't matter. You can also multiply from the right. So it becomes x squared plus 3x. That is the area of S1. But the area of S2 is more interesting, because for finding the area of S2, I need to know the base. I do not have any problems with that. What is that? X. But then I also need to know the height. So if you don't mind, let me call this h, the height. So what is height here? Height is, do you agree, from here to here, minus from here to here. Do you agree?
Yes.
Because this one, if I continue it in my head, from here to here is x plus 4. From here to here is the same as from here to here, which is x plus 3. And for the second one, the pair of brackets is mandatory. Or, of course, you can do it in your head, but you shouldn't mess up. I open this pair of brackets. There is nothing behind that, so I don't need to be worried. I just open it up. But how should I write the second one?
Minus x and minus 3.
Minus x, minus 3. Some people still write minus x. They forget to write minus 3. They just write plus 3. No. This minus goes for here and there. But can I simplify it more?
Yes.
Yes, because this one and that one are gone. Essentially, this is just one unit. One, if you want to be more precise, length unit. Okay, but do you remember, or of course you can use the formula sheet, but this is so simple that I hope that you remember. What is the area of a triangle? Height multiplied by the base divided by 2. So I would write that 1 over 2 multiplied by the height, which is 1, multiplied by the base, which is x. And if I multiply them, do you agree it becomes 1/2 x. But the total area is what? Is S1 plus S2. S1 is this expression, x2 plus 3x, and then I have 1 over 2x. Okay, so that is a little bit, you have to be careful. How can I simplify it more? Is there any similar term? Yes, these two. So this is alone, but what can I write instead of these two together? 3.5, okay? 3.5, if you write this in exam like this, I agree with you, that's correct. But let us write everything in form of a fraction, because sometimes writing in decimal points in exact values is not possible. So can you tell me what can I write as a fraction instead of 3,5? Because I would tell you that this is the coefficient is 3, the other coefficient is 1/2. I can go to a scratch work, write it 6 over 2 plus 1 over 2, it becomes 7 over 2. So that is the scratch work. Okay, so this becomes 7 over 2 x. But I want to make sure, if some of you write 7x over 2, should I give the full mark to that person? X squared plus 7 over 2. Is that also correct? Yes. So remember, if you have a number multiplied by a fraction, it's still, I see some people multiply it here and there. No, it should be only multiplied in the numerator. If you think that you will forget, write it somewhere with a different color so it will attract your attention in the future. Okay, any questions? That is easy. This was, by the way, level 2 problem. So you see that was not that hard. Okay, so let us go to a little bit nicer problems here. Okay, I want to only do one of them. So I want to wait for you, of course. Just do the first part, the second part here. Of course, the people who do some of these exercises at home will have a better chance, actually. So this question is asking for what? Find an area for the, find an expression for the area of the triangle and simplify it as much as possible. Okay, so I want to wait for you only 2 minutes. Okay, I think time is enough for this, it's not hard. So this is a triangle, and I want to find the area of that triangle. So usually we call it S. So the area S, surface area, is equal to what? 1/2 times the base, which is 2x plus 4, and then times the height. But in this case, the height, because this is a right angle triangle, the same thing which plays the role of a leg or a side is also playing the role of the height. Yes? Okay. So, of course, the standard way of solving is to multiply things and then multiply 1/2. Yeah, so we will do that. Because I have 3 numbers, you know that. If I ask you to multiply 2 by 3 by 4, So some of you, I have seen that they multiply 2 here and there. But be careful, that's wrong. So if I ask you what that number is, what's the number?
24.
24. Because you multiply 2 by 3, you get 6. And then you multiply 6 by 4. Not just multiplying 2 by 3. That one is the case if I have this scenario. Yes, in that case, I multiply here and there. But if both of them are multiplication, I multiply 2 of them, find the answer, and then multiply the answer to the third one. Yes?
Do you not solve brackets before multiplying?
Yes.
So in that bottom one, it's not 2 times 3 times 4. It's 2 times 7.
No, you are right. But in this case, when we have numbers, we have 2 methods, which, as you said, no one will solve it in that stupid way. They will say that this number is 7, because pair of bracket prioritize this operation. And then you would say, so usually if I ask you what this is, even myself, I calculate it in that way and the answer is 14. But in this case, if you also do it like that, you get the same answer because this is 6 and this is 8 and the answer becomes again 14. But the whole point is that if I have letters, not numbers, I cannot do the first one. Because if I ask you what b plus c is, we don't know because we don't have the numbers. Then the second method for this one is the only way. Okay? For numbers, this is better, but we have 2 methods. For letters, we have only the second method. Okay, so here I have one number, this is a second number, this is a third number. And if I want to multiply them, I prefer to multiply these ones. But of course, if you prefer, you can also multiply this in. Let us multiply this in. Can you do it in your head? So it means that I decided to multiply this one first. It means I don't touch the last one at all. Okay, can you do it in your head? Multiply 1/2 to 2x. What the answer is?
1x.
1x, which I write x. And then multiply 1/2 to 4. What's the answer? It's just 2. That's it. But the problem is not finished because I have to multiply again. X times 2x is 2x squared. X times minus 3x. Then 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times minus 3 is minus 6. And finally, the surface area becomes what? 2x squared. This one and that one is? X. You can also write 1x, but this is not common. If it is 1, don't write it. And then it's minus 6. That's the answer that we are supposed to get.
And you
Okay.
can still do the brackets before the...
What do you mean? Here?
Yeah, you can still
Yeah,
do
you
those.
can do that. You can multiply these first and then multiply by 1. Yes. And by the way, that is probably a little bit easier. The reason that I decided to do this because I immediately realized that I can get rid of this factor because both of them are even. That was the reason. But your method is probably better in general. Okay, but that type of question is also very common in Math 2C for some reason. The author likes this. Okay, so we want to here solve all of them, but I want to start one of them myself, but the hard ones you can solve, okay? So here we want to find the empty space, empty square, but the problem is that don't think that for example, in the second part, don't think that whatever you put here is the same that you have to put there. Might be these are different ones, but they have already written. You're not allowed to eat, okay? Okay, so now we go to what? This problem, I want to explain it here for you on the board, then I want to wait for you to solve the other one. The other ones are a little bit harder. So 1, 1, 0, no, 1, 1, 1, 0. So let me write this. There is not a very standard way of solving these problems. So you need to guess a little bit somehow. So I have x plus 3 multiplied by x plus something that I don't know. This is supposed to be something like this, x squared plus 4x plus 3. By the way, if I want to give you this in the exam, I don't ask you how you find it. I usually ask you to fill it up. And for any way that you can find it, that's okay. You just fill it up, okay? But let us try to see how we can solve it. Can you guess or we want to solve? Yes?
I think it's maybe
1. It seems to be right, but let us say how we can do. Okay, so I start multiplying things. X times x is what? X squared. X times the question mark, I don't know. So let us pretend that we juxtapose them like this. I multiply. But then I have, next thing is 3x. The next thing is, again, I don't know exactly, but this is supposed to be this. And the next part is to compare this, what you produced, with what you want to have. The x squared part, you don't need to be worried about that, because you have it on the left, you also have it on the right. But the problem is here and here. But now be careful, this box and that box are the same box. So you cannot put something here, something different there. You need to decide, find something for both of them simultaneously. Might be this is easier to compare this one with 3. And as Hasbulat mentioned, it is not hard to guess this box. I am not concerning about this momentarily. I am trying to fix this part only. So to fix that one, what should I put here? I should put 1 here. But I am not done yet. Might be if I put 1 here, I will be in trouble. Am I?
Yes.
Yes or no?
No.
No. Why? Because if I put the same 1 here, this gives me how many x's? 1x. Then I have 3 more x's here. In total, how many x's I will have? I will have 4x. So that's correct. And this, I don't care how you come up with that conclusion. If you are so clever, so smart that you can immediately guess, you just write the answer there. Okay? So, for this problem, the SVAR is what? The box is what?
1.
1. That is what I expect you to write down in any way that you find. Okay. But the second one and the third one are a little bit harder. Yes.
Do we have to show why it is the right answer?
No, that's what I'm saying. Because explaining this in words is so long.
So
but-
you can just write the answer.
Yes. If the answer is right, you get the full mark. If you don't, the answer is wrong, unfortunately, you lose the whole. Yes.
I have a question
Yes, please.
about the second one. Can the
No,
box-
don't ask the second. Yes, yes. The
Right,
second.
box is different.
Yes, that is why I'm saying this is not a very good way. So this is a little bit a strange way of writing things. So in mathematics, when we use the symbol, let me just show you here. So here, don't think that what you have to put on the left is exactly what you have to put on the right. This is not a good way. But they are just telling, I mean, what is the Swedish way of saying? Fill these, or I don't know, these empty squares so that this equality holds. Yeah, it is not very obvious, but now you can choose different things. If you want, you can choose the same things, or if you want, you can choose the different things, even for the second one. I want to wait for you, okay? 5 minutes. Okay, so let us see how it goes. Could you find these? Did you find the same thing or different things? Different, apparently. Okay, so how we continue? Might we go to a scratch paper? So, yeah. So I will multiply to see what happens. So I multiply x by x, it becomes x squared. Then I multiply this x by the box. This is minus, so it becomes minus x multiplied by the box. And then I will have plus 8 times x. And then I have minus 8 multiplied by the box. Okay, so what is, so it is, you see, this x squared doesn't pose any problems, yes? This is the same thing here. But you have a little bit of experience. The whole expression here, this contains 1x, that also contains 1x. So if I put an appropriate number here, so that at the end when these two terms are combined and gives me minus 2x, might be I am done. Okay? So now just concentrate on this one. Forget about this one, which is hard one. Forget about that one for the time being. But can you tell me which suitable number I can put here so that after these two are combined, I get that?
10.
10. Do you agree, everyone?
Yes.
Why? Because this, if I put 10 here, it is minus 10x, and then I have a positive 8x, so it becomes minus 2x. So it was not hard to guess this. But do you remember what is that one? That is this box. But it is not finished yet. If I put 10 in, because you see, be careful, this is a little bit confusing, because it is showing everything with a box. But this box and that box, do you agree? They are both this box.
Yes.
Yes? So if I put 10 here, I have to also put 10 there. I cannot put something here, something else there. Yes, because these are the same boxes. Yes? Understand?
Yes.
Okay. So then if I put this 10, what happens? This number becomes 80. So I have minus 80. So I should also have minus 80 on the right. So this will tell me that what should I put here? 80. So if I, for example, give them in the exam.net or whatever, I just put empty space to type the numbers in. So the number that you type here is 10, and the number typing there is 80. But if you do not do this analysis, might be it is not that easy to guess these numbers. But anyway, if you can guess, that's enough. You just write the numbers there. Any questions here? Understandable?
Yes.
Okay. What about the second one? Could you solve that one as well? Yes, Omar, can you tell me? So we go to a scratch work. Let me see if I'm recording. Yes. So I go to a scratch work. What to do?
So the first box I saw you have to multiply.
Okay, when you say the first box, if you don't mind, let me put a 1 here to be able to keep track. And this one, 2. Okay? And then I start multiplying.
Yes.
So what happens?
What
This becomes what?
3x.
3x.
Yes.
How did you know that?
Because
No, here times that one first, yes?
exactly.
So it becomes 2, whatever is in the box 1, and then x. Do you agree?
Yeah.
This one times 2 times that, this is the first. And then this one, I will have to multiply it there. So it becomes negative 3 multiplied by box number 1. And after this is finished, I go to box number 2 and I do the same thing. So I take this one and multiply it here. So it becomes what? 2, box number 2, and then x. And then I multiply this there, so it becomes minus 3, box number 2. Okay, so we have to agree that this is a little bit harder. Yes.
I know the answer.
I know the answer, yes.
So in the first box it is 3x, and I can motivate y as well.
Here.
Yes, in box 1.
No, you don't need to motivate me. Let me just put it, if it works, we agree with that. So you are claiming that I have to put 3x here.
Yes.
If I put 3x here, because this is box number 1, then you have to put 3x also there.
No.
Yes? Yes?
Oh, 1. Sorry. I
No.
thought you were talking about box number 2.
Okay. So that's box number 1. But then do you have any suggestions for box number 2?
Yes, 2.
Only 2?
Yeah.
So if I put 2 here, then I have to put 2 there. Be careful. You cannot change your opinion here and there because they are the same box. These are different boxes. Whatever you put here, you have to put the same there. Whatever you put here, you put the same there. I don't actually ask you why. Let us see if it works. Okay, if you put it like this, if I ask you what is this expression, what is your answer? 2 times 3 times x, which is?
6x.
So far so good. I need it, I have it. What happens here? Minus 9x. And then what happens here? Plus 4x. Very good. And what happens? Very good. Very good. That's enough. Because now I have 6x squared. I want it. I have minus 6. I want it. And then I realize what is the answer here? Minus 5x. So everything is in order. And I will not ask you how could you find that. That's good. Completely enough. So what I want you to understand, that in box number 1 I should put, so let me write it with the different colors. So you have to put 3x here and 2. Yes. Is that understandable? Now that you learned this, let us go to level 3 problem of the same type. I think they are harder. I want to wait for you to do this. Apparently, they call it level 3. There should be a reason why they call it, even though this seems to be the same problem, more or less, but they consider this one to be a level 3 problem. The reason I jumped here, because these problems are of the same form. Okay, at least think about them. Let us go through the first one at least together. One more point that I want to emphasize again. So here we have how many boxes? 3 boxes. I give them numbers. Be careful. If you have different boxes, you still can have the same things in 2 different boxes. But if the number of boxes are the same, you cannot put different things in the ones with the same number. Let me just repeat it again. So here, let me give this number 1. Let me give this number 2. Let me give this number 3. And then I go to a scratch paper as usual. X times 4 is 4x. X times the first box. And then 7 times that is 28. And then I have 7 times box number 1. Okay, so you now need to do something that it works. I don't know, what is your instinct? I myself prefer to start from here, because the only information that I have on the right is the 1 for x. Okay, so this means that I start asking myself, I want to have minus 10x here. This is the question mark. I ask myself, what should I put here to make this part minus 10x? Do you have any idea?
Minus 14.
Minus 14x. That is what comes to my mind. So it's minus 14. But we have to get, if I put minus 14 there, then this will work. At least I am on the safe side from this one. But because this is number 1 and I put minus 14 there, I also have to put minus 14 here. I cannot choose different numbers because the index of the box is the same. That is the same box. Okay, now I will be a little bit in trouble or no? So this doesn't work, does it?
No.
No. Because what happens, this becomes how much? Minus 98. Then I have minus 98 plus 28, which becomes minus 70. So I have 2 terms. Minus 10x, minus 70. It doesn't work. So it doesn't work. No? Okay. So I have to clean it up. Okay, so I clean it up. Unfortunately, I don't know what to do here. Do you understand that this method was plausible, but it didn't work? So we have to clean. Okay. So if I want to have x, what should I do? So this minus 10x, you might ask yourself, might be that this will fix me minus 10x. If I want to have it minus 10x, what should I put here?
Minus 2x.
Minus 2x. But as soon as I put minus 2x here, what should I put here? Minus 2x again. Do you think it will work?
Yes.
Works?
Yes.
Okay, so far so good. So let us check. Because this will give me minus 2x squared. This will give me minus 14x. That is very good because this 4x here and that minus 4x immediately gives me minus 10x. So everything is in order. So I think it works. So what I put here?
Minus 2.
Minus 2x. But what should I put here?
28.
Okay, or here. It doesn't matter. You might put 28 here, or you might put 28 there. It doesn't matter. Both of them are correct. But let me put 28 here. And then what is left for this one?
Minus 2x.
Minus 2x squared. So you see, the one that I started with didn't work. So I also get confused. And then, of course, then I change my strategy. This time it works. So in the exam, this is correct. If one of you write this one there and 28 here, that's also completely correct. Because it is not clear which way we have to go. So you see, it is not that easy. You have to, exactly like we are solving a puzzle. Okay, part B, could you solve part B? Again, we have 3 boxes involved. So let us do the same trick. I put a number 1 here to keep track, number 2 here, number 3 there. Okay, so let us try to multiply. This one times that one, this is just 2x squared. This one times that one, I have to write x dot box number 2. This multiplied by that, it becomes 2 multiplied by box number 1 multiplied by x. And then interestingly here, I have the product of 2 boxes. Okay, it seems harder. So can you come up with a guess? Because our duty is a little bit harder here. You see, whatever I put here, I have to put the same thing here because these are box number 1. Whatever I put there, I have to put here, box number 2. But then this product should turn out to be minus 36, and this sum should turn out to be minus x. Do you have any idea? So you see, this is going to be minus 36, this is positive. So it means one of these boxes should be positive, one of them should be negative. So that when I multiply them, it becomes negative.
Babak, I think I might have the answer.
Yes, yes, be my guest. I'm so tired, so if you can help me, I appreciate that. So what do you want to put in box 1?
In box 1, I want to put minus 1.
Minus 1.
Yes.
So if you put minus 1 there, I have to put minus 1 here as well. But in box 2, you will be in trouble.
Yes.
So it's not working. Okay. Any other guess? So this product is supposed to be 36. So if I ask you to give me the product of 2 numbers, what are 36 might be, what comes to your mind? 4 and 9 comes to my mind, and I don't know, 12 and 3 comes to my mind. Is there any other one? 2 and 18, of course. But let us try to work with 4 and 9, okay? Yes, I think I found it, yes? I put minus 9 here. When I put minus 9 here, this is box number 2, so I have to put minus 9 there as well. Then I put 4 here in box number 1 to make this minus 36. I put 4 here. I think it works. Don't you think so? Let us check. If I ask you what is this? This is how many x's? Minus 9x. This is how many x's? And the answer becomes what?
X.
Minus x. Do I have minus x? Yes. Okay? And then what is this number now? Minus 36, and that is also good. Then it means that what should I write in this box? 2x squared. So far, so good. Everything works. So I put 2x squared here. Box number 2 is minus 9. Box number 1 is 4.
Baba,
Yes.
what if we do reverse? Like box number 1 is minus 9. Does it still work or no?
No, no. Because you see, in this case, if I replace them, then this becomes minus 9, which becomes minus 18, and then this becomes 4x. Minus 18 plus 4x is not minus 1. So this is the only way. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And finally, the last one, I don't want to spoil it. You might be a little bit tired now. So I want to keep it for the next time. So these two problems, the part C of this problem and problem 114. So I will box only the number here so that I remember we have to solve it next time. But I want you to try to work at home. We will not be able to spend a lot of time here. So there are some good questions I have left. Especially, so let me also put this in a box. Yeah, we can come up. And then I have to go to a new lesson. So that was more or less the review of what we have, what we had in Math 1C in a little bit higher level. Okay, any questions? Okay, so I think because we started working a lot, we can have a little bit fun. So we go 10 minutes earlier.